Hey folks, Gary here. Happy Monday morning to you. I hope your day is starting off just fantastic. Hey Cole? Yeah, Cole's here too. There you go. Yeah, I hope your day is starting off just fantastic. What a great day to be alive. Any day we walk with the Lord is a fantastic day. It really, really, truly is. Hey, this Sunday morning we were talking about prayer. We were talking about getting closer to God, and one of the ways to get closer to God is to be in prayer, is to be praying to the Lord. The closer you are to Him, obviously, the more likely you are to take on His character, to take on His image, to be conformed more and more into His likeness. Well, that happens when we spend time with Him. You know, the previous week we looked at Peter and Tabitha, and you can see that God's influence on them changed them so that they could be a great influence on others. So they were able to have a great effect on other people's lives and be a blessing to other people. And they took on God's image when they were doing so. And so Sunday, we talked about prayer, and we talked about that Peter would have been a man of prayer. He really would have been. We read that. We read that where he spent time with God, that shaped him. When he spent time with Jesus, that shaped him. But he also spent a lot of time in prayer as well. Acts chapter 3 talks about that. It says that Peter and John went to the temple one afternoon to take part in the 3 o'clock prayer service. And all sorts of things took place and happened. And it's a great story to read. But depending on what version you have, you read, you see where it was often. This was something that Peter did often, went to prayer. In Acts chapter 10, we see where Peter goes up to the roof to be alone with God and to pray, and how a great ministry to the Gentiles takes place when he does so. Peter spends time alone with God, and he's following the example of Jesus, who spent a lot of time to be alone with his Father in heaven, to have that solitude. That's a model for you and I. You know, there's lots of ways that we can pray. We can pray corporately. We can pray when we're starting the service. We can pray when we're at a special event someplace to kick it off. We can pray for our meals. Like I'm going to pray for breakfast soon when I finally get to having breakfast here this morning. We can do all those kind of things. But there's also prayer that we pray when we're just simply alone with God and we seek Him out and we pray with Him. And it's during those times when we are alone and we take the time to be with our Father in heaven, take the time to be with Jesus, that things begin to change inside of us. I forget who it was where this saying comes from, but it's a well-known saying. And the saying is this: prayer is not about getting God's attention to our matters. It's not like, hey God, did you know this is happening? It's not about that. Prayer is about God getting our attention to who He is and what it is that He wants to do. And that changes us. The more and more we know about God, the more and more we change to be like Him, to be conformed into the image of Christ. So that was the message on Sunday. I think I'll post the link up here. You can listen to the message on Spotify if you like. So that's the message for this morning. Spend time with your Father. Spend time with your Lord. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.